there are so many reasons why I got into teaching.
One of the best things is the light bulb moment.
When you see a pupil suddenly understand something, that's really, really special.
Every child is so full of potential, and the thing that makes me proudest to be a teacher is seeing them realise what they are capable of.
I don't think any other job can give you the same satisfaction.
That's why I chose to teach.
You could get £26,000 tax-free to train. Search, apply to teach. Selected subjects only, subject to eligibility.
Ladies and gentlemen. Podcasting since 2005. You were listening to Gamer Tag Radio with your hosts Godfrey, Pete Rock, Paris, Poster. Come on.
Yeah. Welcome to Gamer Tag Radio episode 553. This is your host, Danny, aka Godfrey, and joining me this week, my regular co-host. Let's go with Pete Rock. Pete,
what's up?
What's up, man? Last week's episode, pretty hilarious. Let me tell you, I was editing that. I was dying.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure from this morning's responses on Twitter, etc. It's.
Let me tell you, I was getting a lot of replies on Twitter and email of people either agreeing with me or disagreeing with me, and we even got a couple emails too. Very, very interesting conversation, man. It was cool. I can't wait for Paris to come back so we can actually sit down and talk about this. So about our last week huge debate about resolutions and graphics.
We
and all
already
that
know
stuff,
his
so.
response. PC. Who cares?
No, I think he's in the middle. He's in the middle. We'll see. And also, joining us, Patrick,
Hey,
aka
guys.
Boston J. What's up, man?
You guys having a good night?
No.
Yeah, good, man.
Yeah,
Good.
no.
Let me ask you this: are you guys excited for this Batman versus Superman movie? Because let me tell you, I've been reading mixed reviews. I'm still gonna watch it, but I don't know, man. Like, I went to Rotten Tomatoes the other day, and I got to see the differences between the review of Batman Forever and this new version. And Batman Forever had a better percentage.
Yeah, like 3 or 4 points over.
And that was a pretty bad movie.
I don't know what that means. Does that means like, is this the new Batman Forever, Batman and Robin for the new generation, where the quality is doesn't matter? It's just about the effects and the actors. I mean, because when I was a kid, I'll be honest, I loved Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. I was that perfect age.
Oh God! Don't tell me you were a fan of the Schumacher films. I hate you.
Well, as a kid, yes.
Don't do this to me,
I was.
Don't do this to me.
Looking back now, they're hilarious. But yeah, Pete, I got to be honest. I can't go back and lie to my kid self. I didn't enjoy those movies. Obviously, you guys got the better Michael Keaton films when you guys were coming up. I didn't get those until much later. So yeah, Danny, I'm still going to see this movie just because I like Batman a lot. I like Superman a lot. Henry Cavill was good. I enjoyed Man of Steel, so I like Zack Snyder's direction. I'm going to give Ben Affleck a chance. I think he's deserved that over the years, at least giving a chance for this role. So I'm on board. But I just stopped watching trailers and I stopped watching reviews. Like the minute they came out with that last trailer that kind of spoiled the end of the movie, I was like, threw my hands up there. I'm done with trailers. I'm done with reviews. I kind of wanted to see the movie, just be done with it, just with the spectacle of it. Because at this point, I only go to the theaters anymore just to see superhero movies and, other, Oscar-nominated films. Anything where I feel like it's worth my $12, $13 to go out and go see something like this. So I'm on board. But yeah, I'm not as excited as I was a year ago when they first announced this.
Same here.
No, it's definitely been tampered down.
Here's the funny thing, guys. The reason why Paris is not here, because he got tickets a long time ago. So he's there with his kids, with his family. They're watching the movie and stuff. So this is the last.
Him and his boy. It's just him and Trey. That's it.
Oh, him and his boy. Okay,
That's
I thought it was the whole family. No, but this is the funny thing.
Not worth it.
He sent us this message right before the recording. He goes, "Shutting my phone off. This movie is about to start."
You
Hilarious.
know what's worse? is that I'm in this. Luckily, he's not paying for this experience, but I've already shelled out $50 for me and the family to go out and buy, to go out and get, tickets to go see this on Sunday at the new Cinépolis, which is the new movie theater du jour.
It's a great name.
Wow, how classy. P-Rock is so classy.
It's the movie theater experience where you go and you have assigned seating.
Nice.
You can bring in drinks and stuff.
Chairs.
They've got a bar, the whole nine.
It's like us in a bistro down here, man.
So I've got mixed feelings about it. Like when I first saw the trailer, like a year ago, I was like, okay, great. This is very, very similar to the Dark Knight Returns, the animated movies.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'm kind of excited. Then I saw the Teenage Mutant Ninja Doomsday, and I was like, okay, this is trash. And then within the last week, all of the new trailers that have come out have really gotten me hyped. And then
I'm still gonna watch it.
And now I'm like in this fugue state. I don't know how I feel. I don't know if I'm excited. I don't know if I'm just going through the motions and I'm just gonna watch it because as a comic book fan and as a Batman
Seriously,
fan.
I was about to say, Pete, you are a big Batman fan, so I mean, like, does that?
I really am. I truly am. It's just the fact that he's like a comic character prime. He's like a prime character. Like the comic book industry wouldn't be the same without a Batman character.
I agree.
The fact that he's a human, he has no superpower other than he's damn smart, damn rich, damn good looking.
Can I say one thing very quick before I promote the website and everything, Pete?
No.
Are you worried? I mean, here's one thing that I'm kind of like, Batman with weapons?
Batman's used weapons in the past.
Batman's used weapons all the time. Now, and granted, we haven't seen the movie, no spoilers concerned or anything.
That's true.
That's a big argument in the movie of a lot of people are complaining like, oh, he's using weapons and he's killing people. And I don't know, this is supposition, this is rumors. The big thing about Batman is that he has an abhorrence to killing other human beings. That's his one rule.
Of who he is. Without that, he's not Batman.
Exactly. Without that, he might as well just be.
He's the Punisher. He's Punisher.
Castle. Exactly. Yeah. So, as long as he keeps him true to his true character, and if anything, if this is all this really is just a lead up to the Justice League, then I understand it.
This will set the groundwork. I mean, that's why Gal Gadot is in there as Wonder Woman, simply for that reason, to build a universe.
But my whole complaint is that Snyder said no, or whoever the powers that be at the DC movie people, they decided to say no to Grant Gustin for the Flash. They went off and went someone else, and that's my biggest.
Is that the actor from the TV show? Because I don't watch that.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Well, that'd be cool. They should have kept that continuity going, but I can only understand the contracts.
Which would mean they would have to bring in Stephen Amell to be Oliver Queen.
Mm-hmm.
Just things like that. It's like if you're gonna build this whole environment, bring the rest of those in. Like Marvel did it with Agent Coulson.
Yeah,
did the transition from movies to TVs. Use that to bring and make that a more cohesive universe. But this is DC. This is Snyder. They're going to do whatever they're going to want to do. They're just going to rake in money. I have good hopes for Affleck because I think he's a phenomenal actor. Just remove the G Lee and the original Daredevil movies away from your mind because those things never happened. Those are
okay. Pete, can I make you mad again?
Oh God!
I liked the Daredevil movie when I saw it.
I'm out. I'm done. I'm done. I'm off the show. I'm done. I'm out.
All right,
bye.
take care, P. I'm out. Peace.
This is Gamer Tag Radio. Voicemail 786-2737-GTR.
Head over to gamertagradio.com. Post your comments and feedback, and also share with your friends. You can find us on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio. We're everywhere. Give us a call, 786-273-7GTR. That's 786-273-7GTR. Email us, fanmail at gamertagradio.com. By the way, you guys want to make some extra money or what?
Yeah.
Nobody? Oh,
I'll take Pete's money if he doesn't want it.
I'm still in shock. I don't know if you were trolling me with that last comment about Daredevil.
No, I'm being real. When I saw it in theaters at that age, I'd have to do the math, but I was young enough where I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. And hey, Jennifer Gardner, at that age, are you kidding me? Beautiful woman. Now, I'll give you, in hindsight, I miscussed. It's terrible. Elektra was very, very terrible. I didn't even see that. So, yes.
Okay.
They were bad. But please, Danny, money,
yes.
Right? You're talking money?
Yes, because look, Pete wasted already 50-something bucks for the new movie, Batman versus Superman movie.
See it first.
That's a lot of money, man, for a so-called crappy movie. Yeah, so I don't know. Pete, props to you. But if you want to make more money, drive with Uber. Uber's a smartphone app that connects with rider and drivers. And as a driver, it helps you make extra money driving your own car, which, Pete, you could do this at home if you want to make up that money from watching this movie. This is like perfect. So it's sort of flexible and you don't have to quit your day job, to make some money. So because Uber lets you make money on your own schedule. Whenever you need extra money, just turn on the app and just drive. A couple hours here and a couple hours there, and it all adds up. And it's super fast and really, really easy to start this. So go to drivewithuber.com to sign up for free, and you could do it right now while listening to Gamer Tag Radio. So look, you answer a few basic questions about you and your car, and that's it. You get approved. Third, you start driving, and that's it. It's super, super easy. So once again, earn extra money on your own schedule. Sign up to Drive with Uber today. Go to drivewithuber.com. That's drivewithuber.com. Once again, for those who are listening, drivewithuber.com. All right, so shout out to Uber. Thank you very much for them sponsoring us now for a couple weeks. So that's pretty good, man. Shout out to them and all the sponsors too. So we have here a couple topics, man. And also I'm going to be playing an interview. Actually, 2 interviews. One is very short. Rest in peace, Phife Dawg from Tribe Called Quest. I'm going to be playing that interview. I met him 10 years ago here in Miami. He was promoting the NBA 2K game. He was part of the soundtrack, and also his character was in the game. So I had a chance to meet him. A pretty cool conversation. I'm going to keep it short because the thing is, at that time, I had like a very bad audio recorder. So there was like a lot of background noise and stuff, man, at the club right after the concert that they performed and stuff. There was Q-Tip, the whole crew was there. So I'm going to play that later on. And also, I also interviewed Damon Branch, indie company called Last Limb. Years ago, I met him when he used to work for Gaia Industries. So a couple games for the Xbox 360 way back in the days. One of them was Street Trace and also Wing Commander and a couple other ones too. So I'm going to play that interview. He's going to be promoting his new game that's coming out for the PlayStation 4 and also Xbox One called Organic Panic. The cool thing about that, I have a lot of codes. I believe I have 15 Xbox One codes and 10 PlayStation 4 for the ones here in the States and 15 for PlayStation 4 Europe. So those are listening, tune in, listen to the interview. Right after the interview, I'm going to give you some details how you could win this game. And it's super, super easy. So we're going to talk about this news that came out a couple days ago. A leaked image came out. Supposedly it was saying that this was the new Nintendo NX controller. Eventually, a couple days ago, they said it was fake. It was totally fake. Somebody made it up. Before that, everybody thought it was for real. What are your thoughts, guys?
I mean, I wish we could flash a picture, but I know we're a podcast, but you'll have to Google it if you haven't seen it, unfortunately. I mean, it looks like a little Bluetooth speaker or like something you'd set your drinks on. I'm really not okay with the fact of taking buttons out of controller. I think Nintendo has tried enough crazy things in the history of their console development and needs to definitely reel it back in. This is prototypes. I do not expect the final version to be like this, but for me, this is a bad sign off the bat. If they're trying to go this experimental, minimalistic route, which is not what I wanted. Again, I would assume that they have many prototypes in development. They're working on several of them. I certainly imagine they're doing focus testing and Q&A to get, people's opinions and feedback. So good final controller. But just from, again, I have to go off what I can see personally. I do not like at all this tiny minimalistic design. It does not look comfortable to hold because essentially, as Danny tried to describe, it's just like a little flattened out circle with two analog sticks and a big flat screen. So almost Vita-like quality to it, but even stranger of a design. So yeah, like I what's wrong with having just a normal controller? I mean, even if they just wanted, I've said this in the past, even if they just want to cheat and just take the Pro controller from the Wii U and just make that the new controller for the NX, people would have no issue with that whatsoever. Just give us a standard controller. I mean, it's fine. This is optional. This is like a remote you can use as like a peripheral for the system in addition to a standard controller. No issue at all with that. But this is what they're trying to do. Go for it, Danny.
The thing that I like about Nintendo, they're not followers. They always do crazy stuff, even if it doesn't work. Sometimes it's been successful. Sometimes it's just flat out failure. I'll give you a perfect example. Virtual Boy, horrible idea. GameCube controller, question mark on that one. I was not a fan, but it wasn't the worst.
It's great for Smash Brothers and Mario Kart.
For that.
And Resident Evil 4.
Okay, I'll give you that.
You can get nitpick here, but yes, and overall, I agree with you, Danny. It was bizarre.
Wii controller, it was very successful because it was something new, and then I got old quickly. And the Wii U, I like it because at least there's other type of controllers you could use.
Yeah,
the thing with this one. What's up?
I was gonna say you like the Wii controller, Danny, but like, what's the longest you've used that controller in one sitting?
Playing Bayonetta and playing Monster Hunter. Mario
so
Kart.
you still default to that controller. You don't you have the Pro controller, the little black one?
I have every. I have all.
But you still predominantly use the tablet. That's basically what my question was.
Yeah. I mean, whatever is there available, that's the one
I'm just trying to gauge
use.
like what your usage is because I know like only a couple of people around me that own Wii U's, so like I have to go off you guys in terms of what you feel comfortable with, what you like using. So for you, Danny, like you don't have any issue using that tablet controller long term. Okay. That was my hold up about the Wii. People have been sending me emails about the fact that I say I'm getting an NX. We'll have to bring this up in fan mail sometime later in the show. But the fact that I say I'm getting an NX, but I won't get a Wii U. Just because it's a controller thing. It really is down to that.
Okay, that's fine. And that, you know what? People understand that everybody's going to have different opinions. It's cool. Like that's the thing I like about the show. There's some things I like that you guys don't like. So it's cool. It's just a conversation, So now the thing is, too, is what if this is let's say this is optional and this is something that you could play it and also maybe take it away when you go outside and continue playing the game? The thing is that the issue that I had with the Wii U controller is you can't really go too far from your house, like away from the Wii U, because then it just shuts off the controller. It won't work. It will have like a lot of issues. But with this, imagine you could take this out and continue playing somewhere else. I think that would be cool if they manage to pull that off. But who knows? Now, P, you're very quiet. You haven't said anything. I know you're not a huge fan of Nintendo, but are you curious about this controller at all or not really?
To be honest with you, I think the Nintendo is past for me, that whole time period. I think I've said this in the past. Like
many times.
I keep trying to give it a chance because I kind of want to not let go of the past and all the good experiences I had. But I think the big end is just passed me by, and it's just not something
that's fine
that I'm looking forward to. So to not bash it. I mean, Nintendo, like you said earlier, Nintendo's always been known for taking risks, bucking the trend, not doing what everybody expects them to do. I just see nothing exciting for this for me. So
no, that's fine. I'm gonna wait until E3 and maybe we'll see something crazy and maybe they'll surprise us. Maybe they'll show us something that we were not expecting about this controller. We'll be like, what? So that's cool.
I think they
will. Yeah, I mean, let us know. Here's one thing though, guys. Like, I love Nintendo. We can't forget the history of Nintendo because honestly, I feel that they still should be around because they do things that Sony and Microsoft don't do. They have franchises that is way more popular and well known than whatever has Microsoft and PlayStation has. So Nintendo is a very important video game company, and I'm very I'm very excited. Look, I waited in line to buy the original Wii. I waited in line to buy the Wii U. You know, and you know what? Whatever they show us at E3, maybe that's gonna hype me again, and I'll probably be in line, man, waiting at the store to buy this console. You know, I'm very excited for the new Zelda, man. Like, I'm super excited for this one. This is something that possibly, let me tell you, man, I don't care if this thing is 900p or what. I don't care. I know that Nintendo is going to make this game legit once it comes out. And here's a perfect example, which I totally forgot to mention last week. Bayonetta, one of the best games I ever played, man. Especially this one that came out. It's not 1080p, and it was fantastic. Graphic wasn't like how PlayStation 4 and Xbox, and it was something amazing. My girl was sitting down with me, watching me play this game the whole time, and she was like, man, this game is actually really good, you know? Like, that's the thing about Nintendo. They are not depending on that stuff. They'll do games because it's fun. They make, you know, games that is going to get a lot of attention from the gamers, man. So the only thing is, I just hope this is not no gimmick with this controller. Okay, they've done that in the past, and it's just it's cool at first, and then it gets old after after a few hours. You know, that's the only thing I'm worried about.
We're all
right
worried about that, Danny. I definitely would agree with you. I think
that's the only thing.
Most people, if they even care about new Nintendo hardware, are on board for some change. We want to mix things up because, I mean, they've proven they can be successful in this field, and you know the 3DS is still. It's never going to be touched as, like, you know, as a handheld. I mean, it now runs a monopoly in the industry. Nothing wrong with that. They had to work that way. They work hard to get to the top. Now I feel like it's time to focus back on the consoles, and they need pretty significant push. And so I kind of hope we get a lot of really cool game announcements. Not only hardware announcements, but I'd like to get some new game announcements, some new franchises, new IPs, a lot of things they could bring to the table to, you know, fill an entire actual press conference. Not a Nintendo Direct. I feel like they should have enough content by now because they haven't talked in a while about what they're up to. They keep it secret. They keep it under wraps. We're going to have leaks like this between now and E3. That's inevitable. I don't see anything major being leaked, though. I think Nintendo is definitely trying to keep this as close to themselves as possible so they don't ruin the surprise. Because that's what we're all waiting for. We want to be surprised at E3.
You know, that's one thing I want when all of us go to E3. I just want to go to the press conference, not knowing a thing. Like, yeah, this is a leak. It's not official. But once we go to the press conference, I want Nintendo to surprise us, man. Like, I think they learn from their mistakes, and they have some goodies, man, waiting to just reveal it and just, you know, talk about it during the press conference and during E3, man. They're going to surprise a lot of people, I think, man. So I'm confident with Nintendo, man. You know, we'll see. I just hope it's not like the first year. Remember we went to the Wii U press conference, Patrick?
God, I had to fight so hard to get into that Nintendo press conference like it was my last dying wish.
Oh, it was a disaster. And here's a funny thing that we got to see that same day. Actually, no, it was the next day at E3. We were just walking around. I can't remember exactly where we were going. And then Reggie just passed by, and we got to see him. And I'm like, yo, Patrick, let's ask him if you want to take a picture. And we're like, yo, let's ask him. So we ran towards where he was at. And Patrick was like, hey, Reggie, it's okay. We can take a picture. Like, sure, let's do it. So he was walking to his limo, remember?
Mm-hmm, yep.
He was about to leave. He was leaving. And Patrick mentioned, hey, let's take a picture. He's like, okay, let's go. So then right before he took the picture, he was like, man, Reggie, I just want to say, man, I love your press conference, man. That was like amazing. And it was the conference, man, ever. It was one of the worst. Oh, my God. That was classic, man.
Oh, my God. Oh, it was good times. I so wanted to say the truth to him, but just at that time, I was like, that's so rude to say that to somebody.
He knew, though.
So
I mean, he knows. They know when
star-crossed
something is not being knocked out of the park. They know it. That whole press conference was about Nintendo Land.
Oh my God! Wait! What was it you said, Pete?
So essentially, you saw him and got star-crossed, and there was no way in hell you were gonna end up saying the truth. You were just gonna be like, "Hello, you're the best. I love you. Have my children."
I love you, Reggie.
Oh, Reggie! Reggie's a big guy in person, so you got to give him a little bit.
Yeah,
of respect.
he is pretty tall, man. But you see, that's the thing that a lot of people that listen to the podcast have never been to E3. Here's a cool thing. sometimes you're there and standing in line for, like, let's say you're standing in line, Patrick, at the PlayStation booth. Then you see Phil Spencer or even maybe folks from Nintendo also waiting in line because they're going inside to check out some of the Sony games. And Sony will do the same for Microsoft. They'll go over there to the booth or they'll go to the Nintendo because everybody they're fans of gaming. It's not like a competition. Everybody's like, I don't like you. I'm not going to go over there. Nah, they're there, man. I even seen the same people. I've seen Aaron at like PlayStation press conference and stuff, and some few people from PlayStation at the Microsoft press conference. That's pretty cool. It's cool that that they do that.
That's what's fun about being in the industry. I mean, at the end of the day, you're all still gamers. That's why you got into this in the first place. But you can still have the playful rivalry here and there. But I mean, like, again, at the end of the day, you want to see the cool new stuff your competitors are competing. So I remember, like, when they were showing off HoloLens for the first time at E3 with the Halo 5 experience. I mean, there was a lot of other people in line there from other companies to check that out because that was cool technology. And same thing, I'm sure a lot of Microsoft and Nintendo people wanted to check out the Morpheus or check out the Oculus Rift or the Vive. I mean, the VR is big right now. Everybody wants to check it out. I mean, a lot of exciting things at E3 this year to the point where we don't even know what to expect. It's great.
Learn from your competition. That's cool. It's a friendly competition, man.
You don't have to steal from them, but if something's your competitors do something right, you need to look at that and see what their consumers are responding to it and be like, hey, we need to make some changes on our end because we want that level of excitement. And not just excitement, we want feedback. Because you can't have a better product without, like, quality feedback from your community telling you, what's working, what's not working. Just hate mailing it is not going to do anything. You have to be constructive with your criticism because that makes better games for all of us.
Well, by the way, Pete, this is very sad, man. I was watching the game. What was the final score? Because I stopped watching. I was like, man, this is not looking good.
I don't remember off the top of my head, but it was a drubbing by, I want to say, 24 points, 25 points. It was
bad. We talk about March Madness for those. It
was 92-69. Props to Villanova. They played an amazing game, honestly.
I gotta give it to them.
Miami had a chance. Never. Honestly, they just came out. They came out shooting. But, that's a testament to the team, the coach, and that's actually a perfect opportunity for us to segue into the Delta Airlines and CBS Local Presents Guiding Greatness video series.
Yep.
We've talked about it for the last couple of weeks. They've put together a really great video series featuring some of the greats from the NCAA football, basketball. We've spoken about the Coach K series. It's a really good one. Mark Fox, learning from Bill Parcells. That's a great one as well. It just came out, I believe, this week. It's a good series to watch, to learn from those who have succeeded before us, who've understood the blueprint for success, for winning, but who've also understood heartbreak, disappointment, loss. So to take a few moments out of your day and just listen to these words from these great leaders who are teaching the kids of tomorrow, to teach them the same things that they've learned and to pass that knowledge on, listening to their stories from their words, from their mouths, through their eyes. It's a great thing. So check it out, www.guidinggreatness.com. It's the best way to go there. You can also, I believe that's a whole YouTube channel dedicated to it, but your best bet is going to guidinggreatness.com. It'll give you a little bit more insight to the stories, and then you can go ahead and click. I believe there's 6 up there now, starting with Coach K over at Duke, who's, I think, still in the NCAA championship. But again, shout out to Villanova. Great game.
I'm disappointed here. I'm
very disappointing for Miami.
Yeah,
it was their opportunity.
Very disappointing.
It was their opportunity to do better than the 2012-2013 team, which made it to the Sweet 16 and failed to make it into the Elite 8, which is the next level. But once you're at the Sweet 16 and up, you're in that upper echelon. So it's good that some of the players, I think Tanya Jakiri was the only player from the Miami team who was on that last team and understands that loss. So now, unfortunately, he gets it twice. But then you got great Miami players, Angel Rodriguez and Sheldon Mack. Sheldon Mack is going to be a force. I've got, I'm pegging him to be something in in the pros. But again, just go back to what we were talking about. GuidingGreatness.com, brought to you by Delta Airlines and CBS Local. It's a really good video series. Suggest you guys check it out.
All right, so right now we're going to play the interview with Damon Branch of Last Limp, and they're going to be releasing a new game called Organic Panic for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and also PC. So let's go with the interview right now.
This is Gamer Tag Radio. Voicemail 786-2737-GTR.
All right, so joining me now, we have Damon Branch. He's part of the Last Limb, and they're releasing a new game for the PlayStation 4 on March 29th, and Xbox One, April 1st. It's called Organic Panic. It's a puzzle platformer of fruits and vegetables, and it's coming out very, very soon, so I can't wait. Damon, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you. Thanks, Danny. Good to be back after a little while.
Yes, it's been, I believe, 9 years since you've been on our show, but previously you were part of Gaia Industries, correct?
Yeah, that's right. That was me and a few other guys running that studio, and we did a bunch of Xbox 360 games.
Yeah, so what happened how was the process from Gaia Industries to this new company that you have now?
Yeah, that's the big question. We did a few games, a few more at Gaia. I remember we did a podcast with you about Street Trace. That was like our original title. And then we did a few games, one for Take-Two, MLB Stickball. And then what did we do? We did another one for Electronic Arts. Wing Commander Arena is what it was. We did a few mobile games, but then basically the company kind of disbanded around 2009. So a few people went to work in different industries. I just decided to work from home. I had a family and stuff. So I was just, with the kids back at home for years, kind of just doing it, just kind of knocking away at this game in my spare time. And it just took years and years and years to make. And maybe about 5 years ago, 3 years ago, it was kind of nearly done. But then, just trying to do everything is like a one-man show. It just takes completely forever. So just been a huge amount of time that it took to make this game as a complete independent project. Yeah, so very different to when you saw me last, and we generally spend a year or two on a game. This one I've spent 7 years on.
For those that don't know, we also had like a little community event, right? We went to your office, your old office.
Oh yeah,
we got together, and I brought in some of our listeners and people that are just fans of game. We told them, hey, let's meet up here, this location, and we got to meet you guys. So that was cool.
Yeah,
it was very, very cool.
Yeah, that was good. That was awesome. We just have some pretty good parties at our office. I think we had. It's really cool to have an office. I remember when you guys all came in, you said mobbed the place. It was awesome.
And yes, they had the bomb pizza. Let me tell you, that pizza was amazing. Yeah, I remember that. So Damon, let's talk about this new game, man, because it's coming out now for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. So tell us a little about this game, because I know it's a puzzle platformer, but it also has like a little story and all that stuff, right?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of it's got a story. We had a guy from a Marvel guy do the art for the story, and kind of drives the single player through. The big thing to say, I suppose, is there's like 200 levels, and each level is a completely unique puzzle. But the game uses a lot of physics, so there's fluid dynamics. That doesn't really exist in any game at the moment, not at that level. So and everything's completely destructible, so you can smash through every part of the environment. So it's it's after halfway through a level, it's a complete mess because you've destroyed everything. So that's pretty good fun on its own. But then at the same time, you kind of got to work it out and do the levels, not just smashing everything. But yeah, loads of physics, single player, and then there's a co-op and a versus, and the co-op's 2 to 4 players, versus is 2 to 4 players and team play as well. Yeah, so there's a lot to it.
So there is offline and online, right?
Actually, it's just offline. It's kind of couch play, local co-op, local play. We didn't do the multiplayer for this, so we might do if we can. But there's a lot of stuff like liquids and thousands of particles flying around everywhere, like fluid particles. So I actually don't know how it can be done online, so we haven't even tackled that yet.
And it's cool because there's not a lot of games nowadays that are focused on local play. It's always either online or that's it, you know. So it's cool that you guys added that part in the game to play local co-op, which you can play with the whole family, right?
Yeah, it's pretty kind of family game. I mean, it's definitely a light game, but it's hard as well. It's not just a kind of really simple game. I mean, people that play it, they're like, they get stuck on it, they get hooked, and they're like, whoa, this is really tough, especially if you kind of go for gold and everything. It's actually a really tough game, but it's got a kind of demeanor of like a very family game, but it's actually like a lot of hardcore gamers really like it. We had a guy from Hardcore Gamer gave us an awesome preview, and yeah, we've had some really, really good previews on the game. So right now, actually, when I emailed you the other day, we're just kind of getting everything prepped now for the reviews. So we've done all the previews.
So this is going to be your first game for this generation, right? For Xbox One and PlayStation 4?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Man, so you're super excited. This is something pretty cool, you know.
Yeah, it's good to do it. I mean, it's pretty much, it's not, I should mention my brother's been doing this with me as well. It's not just me. He's been, doing bits of few freelance jobs, but pretty much he's been working on it most of the time as well. So both of us, we originally did it for Steam. We did an early access for Steam, and we had so many bugs with it. That was a few years ago. So we just kind of like closed that down after a bit. And then we just said, let's just do it as a console game first, because everyone is, it's really a console game. It uses all the buttons, and that's what it is. And it's not kind of, it's not a right fit for Steam, but the Steam version's done, so we'll release that afterwards. We're going to release that in the summer.
Well, the Steam version also works for Steam OS too, because I have a Steam machine here. You think that will be available for that, or is it only for PC?
I've done most of the work for it, actually. We're planning to go to, what we have to do for that is go to Linux. And I don't think it's a big deal, because we've already converted it over to Mac, and in order to do that, you get away from a lot of that, the Windows dependent stuff. So technically, we're probably about a few weeks of work away from that. When we get a chance to work on it, it's just we'll do that. But the Steam box definitely is a good target for us, because that's the part of Steam that where it can do well. So we definitely plan to do it for Steambox, but I'm just telling you now, it's not done yet.
How you came up with this concept with fruits versus vegetables? Like how that came about?
I don't know, really. It's such a stupid concept, I mean, actually, it's just a laugh, right? Obviously, it's goofy. We thought it was just a laugh. I mean, it's just like fruit and veg fighting meats and cheeses, just food fighting food, and in the kind of ridiculous environments and stuff. It's probably something related to too much acid when you're younger or something like that. But just generally, it's a goofy thing. But it's funny, we get a lot of the internet trolls and stuff kind of. Oh, hold on, my son's jumping up here. Oh, are you going to join in the interview, are you?
No. So let me ask you this. Like, I know that this is your first time working on the Xbox One and PlayStation 4, which is a huge difference compared to the previous consoles. Was there any moments that it was like very difficult for you to work on these on this game on those consoles? And
it's a bit different. Yeah, I get it, Danny. Yeah. I mean, I did with our old company, we had a load of really good technicians, really good tech people at my old company. We basically all kind of worked at the consoles and the technical stuff, and getting it working on the 360 or getting something working on the phones together. Doing it on your own at home, sort of part-time while looking after kids, it just takes forever. It's a lot of hard work. It's taken, I've learned loads, but it's taken a long time to suss out the PS4 and Xbox One and all the libraries. Everything's changed, so a lot of technical work took a lot of time.
Yeah, so I mean, what are the plans now that you're gonna release this game now for the consoles? I mean, what's the next thing for you guys now? Are there gonna be any future DLCs, like more levels, or are you guys probably gonna move on to the next game?
Yeah, I mean, it depends how it does. We've got a few more concepts, and we kind of build it all around the technology. So if the game does well, then we'll do the sequel for sure if the game does well. If it doesn't do well, I mean, I think it'll, we think, everyone that plays it plays well. Then is it what everybody wants? Is everyone waiting for fruits and veg fights meats and cheeses in this kind of crazy, goofy world and stuff? No, they're not. They're not waiting for it. But are they, are people going to like it? We're hoping that people really like it and it picks up, and then that makes sense for us to definitely do a sequel. It's pretty straightforward. If it doesn't do well, no one buys it, and we don't get the sale. When it comes on, if it does a round like of sales and then goes on sale and at like Christmas or something and doesn't do anything, then yeah, I mean, it's not even a choice. It's just we won't have money to work on anything else. So, yeah.
I mean, I know you started this as a Kickstarter campaign, right? Am I correct?
Actually, that was in the middle of it. We did we not many of the art assets, but we pretty much had the full game kind of like mechanically working and stuff. And that was about 3 years ago. So then we did a Kickstarter because we wanted to finish all the art assets. We had maybe two and a half backgrounds finished, and now there's 12 backgrounds. All the music tracks. Now there's 12 music tracks from a really, really well-known musician that's done tons of albums and has just done an awesome job on this. And all the assets, all the comic stuff. So that all got plugged in, and then we just spent years kind of tweaking all the levels and getting it ready for all the different platforms. We got it ready for Steam, then we got it ready for PS4, then Xbox One, and the next thing will be like Steambox and stuff like that. But
that's cool, man. So how is it working as an independent developer? Because it's a lot of pressure, man. It's it's all you. It's a very small team, and just getting the word out is really, really tough.
Yeah.
Man. So how is it as an independent developer? Like, how is that? Because you guys worked with other previous major companies in the past, with Gaia Industries and stuff like that, right? Mm-hmm. So how's that different with this now, man? Doing everything on your own, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of learning, a lot of actually mechanically getting it done is like incredibly difficult. And yeah, I mean, we're doing the press now. We've got a publisher that's helping us with it and a marketing team, so they're helping us with a bit of the outreach. But the problem is, it's just how many people want to really sort of like cover the independent games and all of that stuff. It's really not it's not a $60 big AAA title, so. And it's not a media darling either. It's not. We're not in San Francisco. We don't know all the media down there. We're not connected in any way. So the few media outlets that we have connections to is not really that much. Our biggest worry in this whole project is working 7 years on something that no one's not even going to play, but not even going to know about. So that's right now what we're trying to do.
Well, so far, I mean, honestly, I've never heard about the game because I've been busy with a lot of things, right? But I looked it up and I did some research, and so far the stuff that I read, it looks like there's been a lot of positive feedback about the game, which is great. Yeah. And and I love like little things like that, like puzzle games, especially local co-op. I really like that, especially my co-host Patrick. He always talks about that. Like, man, there's a lot of developers that are forgetting about local co-op. They're thinking too much of online. There's people that don't have Xbox Live, don't have PSN. They just play at home with their friends and family, So it's cool to see, people like you guys. I mean, people like you making, developing games like this for local co-op, which is great. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, it's better. It's kind of like, it's really nice to play with friends and stuff. That as the last bunch of games we did were Xbox Live, and that whole scenario is like it's not really family oriented, and there's a lot that's missing that you don't get from the local co-op. So I didn't even think about doing an online mode for this. Probably better, to do an online mode for sales, but yeah, we just focused on a local co-op family. Kind of like not just family, but just friends,
Yeah, and also less stress too.
Yeah, as always, a few less swear words in there.
Let me tell you, the cool thing that I liked about visiting Gaia's Industries was I remember going inside and you guys had a lot of artwork and special secret projects that was on the wall, and I'm like, man, that's pretty cool. So do you still have all those stuff with you, stuff like memories like that? And now with this game, I would love to see more behind the scenes stuff, like concept arts, like how you started with this game with our Organic Panic and stuff,
Yeah, so. That's cool. My brother actually there's a blog that he's got tons of the old footage and everything on our blog, and you can get to our blog. There's three things. We've got our Facebook and the Twitter, and then the blog. So the actually the Facebook is just Organic Panic. Just type in Organic Panic Facebook, it'll come up. And that has 5 years worth of history and tons of little extra clips. And also there's a link on our website to our blog. It's a blogger page. The website's www.lastlim.com, and that has a link to our blog as well, and that has like everything like that. And there's tons. There's 7 years, man. It's like we've had tons of different artists, sound engineers, everyone working on it. So there's tons of like behind the scenes stuff all there. Yeah, that's actually a good point.
So how many characters overall is in the game? I know there's 200 levels.
Yeah.
How many characters in the game, and each character, they have one special move or multiple special moves?
Yeah, pretty much. Each character. So there's four of the fruit and veg. You've got coconut, cherry, kiwi, and carrot. And they have carrot controls fire, so he'll go on fire, set everything on fire. There's a lot of physics, so everything goes on fire, burns away, disappears, disintegrates, and like that's the whole part of the destructibility. Coconut, he has the gravity, so he throws everyone around. He's kind of like really slow, the big guy. And then you've got cherry, who smashes through the earth, and you've got kiwi, who creates water. So between those guys, you just kind of go up against all of these meats and cheeses. There's 8 different enemies, and they all have different abilities that you have to use your skills against. It's all the same type of thing. It's kind of goofy stuff, but each one is definitely, each character is definitely unique in the gameplay kind of aspect to it. Yeah.
No, so anybody listening, if you're interested in getting a cool puzzle game, to play at home with your friend and family, try it out. Just look up either on PlayStation Network or Xbox Store. You could just go there and look for Organic Panic. It's going to be available March 29th, first on PlayStation 4, and then April 1st on Xbox One. So, Damon, any last thing you would like to say?
No, it's good. It's great to catch up again, and I'll be back in touch in another 9 years.
Yes, please let us know. Keep in touch and let me know any future project and stuff, man. We're here, man. I know we met a long time ago, and that was a great experience meeting you guys. So it's good that you're still doing your own thing, man.
Yeah, cheers, Danny. It's awesome to catch up with you, man. So cool.
Voicemail 786-2737-GTR.
All right, shout out to Damon, man. Shout out to him, man, because he gave us a lot of codes here. So once again, Damon just hooked us up for our listeners worldwide. We have 15 Xbox One codes, 10 PlayStation 4 America codes, and 10 PlayStation 4 Europe codes. So this is what you have to do. I love fan mail. Love it, love it, love it. So all you have to do is either email us, fanmail@gamertagradio.com, or give us a call, 786-273-78GTR. Tell us which one you want, of Xbox One or PlayStation 4, and as soon you email us, I'm going to send you the code. But very important, for those that want the PlayStation version, you got to tell us if you're here in the States or if you're in Europe, because it's 2 different codes, okay? First come, first serve, and it's up to you. The sooner, the better, all right? So once again, email us or give us a call, and I'll hook you up, all right? Shout out to Damon for making this happen. That's a lot of codes. I think that's the most codes we ever got for a game.
Well, maybe for a full launch game, yes, but
yeah, full launch game. I'm not beta codes. Beta codes is Blur.
Gotten hundreds of codes.
Blur. I think was the one that was big for us. That was a really big one. So very quick, Poston. Before I play some other stuff too, I have an old audio of Phife Dawg I'm gonna be playing for later. But very quick, I know you got to see Dark Souls 3. The trailer.
I did, yes. The new trailer that just came out. Have you guys also got a chance to check it out? Like the almost 3-minute story one?
I got to check it out right now. But very quick, my question is, you got to see this game at E3 very early, right?
Yes,
closed doors?
Essentially kind of its first public showing back at E3 of last year. It was kind of the first time they were showing off the fact that they were adding a magic system to the game.
Yes.
And also the fact that you can use bow and arrows now, two of the major improvements to the combat system. But if you played Dark Souls 2 before, even if you played Bloodborne, this will all be very familiar to you. The concept, the design, the enemies, but it looks like this is even more aggressive than Bloodborne was. So if you like extremely difficult action games requiring, precise positioning, movement, strategy, all that kind of stuff, this is what Dark Souls 3 is all about. So definitely check out this trailer. It's got me excited. I mean, the game's right around the corner, about to come out in April next month. I'm really excited for this game. I mean, I feel like we've been playing a lot of shooting games the last 3 months. So it'd be nice to take a break, take something a bit more, the other end of the spectrum, challenging, exciting, terrifying. Going to have that invasion system. Games are so popular for us, so you can invade each other's worlds. So yeah, I mean, really, if you've like the email we got last week, someone asking about where are the action games at? I mean, Dark Souls 3 is about to be your new action game coming out right around the corner. So get excited, get hype. Hopefully go prepare. If you haven't played Dark Souls before, you probably want to get some practice in on the old ones. If you can't, if not, go in strong. Don't get too frustrated because you're going to learn from every death in these kind of games. That's why they're so satisfying when you push through, you figure out the strategy, you know how to beat it, you come on the other side, you get that awesome loot. I mean, that's when people play Dark Souls. It's an awesome feeling. So Dark Souls 3 coming soon. Get excited. Watch this trailer too. I mean, it does a great job of selling you on being the epic hero of this dark, mysterious world with the cool little voiceover. So hits all the nice little fantasy niches that you expect from these kinds of games. So I'm excited. I'm definitely looking forward to playing Dark Souls 3.
All right, cool.
All right, so I know we all have some problems in our life when you have some issues with money, with finances. I know I have issues with my finances sometimes. You guys probably do as well. We have some people that want to help you out with that. They're called LearnVest. LearnVest is a new online financial advice company that focuses on empowering people nationwide to make smart decisions with their money. Basically, if you want to know how to aggressively either pay down a student loan, they can help you with that. If you want to start a savings plan for yourself, if you want to contribute to your retirement account, they can help you with that as well. Essentially, what they'll do is they'll sit you down, create you a custom financial plan, and then pair you with an actual person, like a real financial advisor who is trained, certified, is degreed to help you make these important decisions in your life. So it's a really cool system. You can go to learnvest.com/GTR. You can basically set up, see a sample plan. You get a $50 credit towards your account. And LearnVest is awesome because they have these really dedicated people. They know what they're talking about. They know how to break down these complicated financial aspects to you to make sure they're understandable, they're easy to process. You know where your money is going. You know where it should be going. So you have like a progress board to keep track of your savings, planner picks. They can tell you, which savings accounts you should use, which credit cards to avoid, all this information that's really, vital that they don't teach you in school. Let's be honest. I mean, this is stuff that you need to know for the real world. LearnVest is here. They've got your back. They want to help you out through some of life's more difficult financial decisions. So if you need some online financial advice and you're looking for a good partner and you need a good person to work with, check out LearnVest. And again, you can go to learnvest.com/GTR. You can see a sample plan, speak with an advisor, and get a $50 credit towards your account. That's learnvest.com/GTR. Go check it out.
Awesome, man. All right, so we're going to play this interview that was recorded 10 years ago. All right. What happened was Trico Quest was in town, and they were promoting NBA 2K7, I believe, and they were also part of the soundtrack. So I got to meet Q-Tip, the whole crew, Phife, everybody, right? And we were there. And yeah, I started talking to Phife, and we recorded this interview. So I'm gonna play a short version of this because, like I said in the beginning of the show, the recorder that I have was getting a lot of background noise, and it was at a club. So I'm gonna play some of the best parts of the audio. And rest in peace, Phife Dawg. Trico Quest to me is one of my favorite all-time hip hop groups of all time ever. And he passed away a couple of days ago, man. So, it was a very sad day when I found out. Pete and I, and even Paris, we were talking about this during our chat, man. Pete, anything you want to say before I play this interview? Phife Dawg?
Tribe Called Quest for me is one of those pioneer groups in the age of hip hop. I mean, everybody talks about, like from the early ons, like starting from, I'm almost starting to get choked up, so excuse me.
No, I know.
You get the Run DMCs, and you get all those crews out there, UTFO and all those other crews. But for me personally, hip hop and Tribe Called Quest go together. It's like peanut butter and jelly. You can't have one without the other. And for me, Phife was always my favorite. Everybody talks Q-Tip, and in his own right, Tip is an amazing lyricist, but the one that spoke to me the most was always Phife. When Tribe broke up, and I think it was the Ventilation EP, which was Phife Dawg's release after they broke up, that was one of those albums that for me, I picked up immediately, and it was just, I think that first 6 or 8 months, it never left my car, because it was just one of those, it's just like Bend Over, it's just, for me, Tribe Called Quest and Phife, you can't have, like, I don't know, you just can't have hip hop without Tribe Called Quest. And hip hop in general lost a legend, a pioneer. Yes. He's gone at the age of 45. I think it was stage 1 or type 1 diabetes. Mm-hmm. I have family members who have suffered diabetes. They, thankfully my father was able to get past it. But guys, life is too short. Go to the doctor, check it out. If you have something, do your best. Do whatever you can to get it taken care of. Like me, I'm starting to lose weight. I'm down like 20 pounds now. I'm going to the gym. Dude, don't let this teach you a lesson, if anything. Mm-hmm. Go to the doctor, get your checkups, do what you got to do. Rest in peace, Phife.
Very quick. I just remember this. Back in the 90s, I used to write for the hip hop newspaper called The Cypher. And Phife Dawg was in town because he was promoting their last album, The Love Movement. They were here. He was here. Q-Tip was supposed to be here. He didn't show up. And I got to meet him. This is like in 1998, I believe. And we went backstage at the club, took pictures, and we sat down. And dude, one of my friends is gonna release the original interview from our newspaper from back then. He's gonna send it to me. I'm probably gonna post it on my Twitter account and stuff. But it was one of the realest interviews I ever had. Like, sat down with like a hip hop artist. It wasn't that no, corporate interview type. This was like straight up real, man. So it was a great thing, man. And at the same time, I was very sad because they were just breaking up. So yeah, it was something I will never forget, man. So. Phife, rest in peace. And I'm going to play this audio that was recorded 10 years ago here in Miami, Florida. Check it out.
Yeah, but now we got Phife right now. We're here in Revolution. Tribe Called Quest back together. What's going on, man?
Ain't nothing, man. Just chilling. Trying to rest up for the next show, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, tell me what's going on with NBA 2K7. I know you and a few other people are part of this game and also on the soundtrack. You can tell us more about that?
Well, you know what I'm saying? We got lyrics to go on the soundtrack, but it's remixed by Dan the Automator, you know what I'm saying? So it's completely different from, at least the music itself, it's completely different from how we did it on Midnight Marauders, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. As far as the video game, the game is real fire, the game is real hot. You can see the sweat beads all on their head, and it's just flavor. And then they got the street ball category, you know what I'm saying, where you can go and play with myself, Questlove from the Roots, my man Common, amongst others, you know what I'm saying? So it's real fun. I played it a couple of times last week. I had a lot of fun, you know what I mean?
It comes out tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
All right. So what happened that you guys broke up and now back together again? What made you decide, to come back?
We're just back together doing these shows, reaching out to the fans, showing love.
Are we ever gonna see an album?
I'm not sure.
Not sure?
It's totally up in the air, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But the chances are really high, though, right?
No, I really can't tell you.
Okay.
Because I really don't know. You know what I'm saying?
What do you think about hip-hop right now in 2006, compared to back then in the 90s, man? You think there's appreciation?
Honestly, it was better back then, no question.
Yeah.
But you have your handful that be doing their thing, you know what I'm saying? They original, they care about their craft, they honor their craft, and we need more MCs or musicians that's going to do it like that. Nowadays, there's a bunch of duplicating and biting going on, and it doesn't really help the cause. You know what I'm saying? It just has everybody sounding the same. A bunch of people, you know what I'm saying, they're not brave enough to try something new. You know what I'm saying? Whereas this dude right here, he taught me how to flip the script, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So that's why we here now, because of brothers like them, you know what I'm saying? Word up.
So what do you think about technology now compared to back then? Now, it's easier to get, MP3s, bootlegs. What do you think about that? You think it kills the music with that going on?
It definitely kills the music. It's cool to a certain extent, but overall it kills it, because let's take Busta Rhymes for instance. His latest album, The Big Bang, is like really hot. And it's like probably one of his least selling albums that he's done, which is totally whack to me, you know what I'm saying? Because you got people who work hard, they're efficient, they're working very diligently to really put it down. And for him to get jerked like that is, whack, because who would have thought he would only went gold or beyond gold a little bit being on Dr. Dre's label.
Yeah, Dr. Dre's.
You know what I'm saying? So, it's a hard battle to fight, you know what I mean? But we gonna keep fighting, you know what I'm saying? Word up.
All right, so which one's your favorite album? Lauren Theory or Buenas Moradas? Which one's your favorite?
That's a tough question.
Tough.
I'd have to say Lauren Theory, though.
Lauren Theory, why? Why is that?
Well, People's Instinctive opened the door. Lauren Theory actually kicked it off the hinges. And Midnight Marauders just pretty much picked up where Low End left off, you know what I'm saying? But I love both albums, but Low End Theory is a little closer to my heart because that's the album where people recognize and realize that Phife does bring something to the group. Other than just standing there, you know what I'm saying? So, Low End Theory's my favorite.
All right, last question, man. What do you have to say for the youth right now? That still listening to the radio. Like, why they should listen to like people like you? That made hip hop so fun back then.
Well, for one, I think people should listen to what they think is really, really hot. And if they feel that in their heart, listen to it. If you feeling Jay-Z, listen to it. If you feeling Young Jeezy, listen to it. Lil Wayne, whoever.
What are you listening to right now?
Me? Well, let me answer the first question.
All right, man.
It's just that the radio pretty much dictates what they should be listening to. And they think that's the only way to go. They got to get out of that mentality, you know what I'm saying? The radio, they'll play one song in particular like 50 times a day. Whereas you hear something real fresh and fly, you really don't know where it's coming from. Because you're always hearing this, getting beaten in the head with one thing. But as far as what I'm listening to, I'm old school, so I listen to the OJs, I listen to Chic, I listen to No Doubt with Gwen Stefani and them. I listen to Green Day, I listen to the B-52s, I listen to the Isley Brothers. I listen to Sister Sledge, the Jones Girls. I'm a soulful, old school dude. Stylistics, Delphonics. As far as hip hop, KRS-One, anything by him, anything by Mobb Deep, anything by Nas, G-Unit. You know what I'm saying? So I got a little variety going on at the crib or in the winter.
He one time said that hip hop is dead. Do you agree with him?
Yes.
Why so?
Because everybody's afraid to really push the envelope. Look at Outkast. They don't care. They just come out with whatever. Boom. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else wants to be the next Redman or the next Method Man instead of being themselves. And then there's countless people who want to be Tupac. You know what I'm saying? So hip hop is definitely dead because there's not too many being creative. You know what I'm saying?
All right, man. So, what's your favorite team in NBA 2K7, man? Which is your team that you play the most?
You know what? I haven't really played with a team on there yet. I played with Dallas a couple of times, but my favorite team in general is the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna figure out who I'm gonna ball with on there.
You think it's helping hip hop and video games together, man? A lot of people going on.
Definitely, because. Excuse me.
That's my last question. So,
the best promotion is self-promotion. You know what I'm saying? And with hip-hoppers having a face in the game, I'm getting seen and things like that. Number one, it's fun. Number two, they're getting seen, they're making more money. And there's never nothing wrong with that, you know what I'm saying? And as you know, basketball and hip-hop has always been a marriage. I worked with Shaq on his first album, you know what I'm saying? Ballers want to MC. MCs used to want to still play ball. Cameron used to play ball, one of the illest in the city of New York. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? Basketball and hip-hop always had that matter.
This is Gamer Tag Radio. Voicemail 786-2737-GTR.
All right, so we're gonna wrap it up almost here. Possum, one more thing. Killer Instinct Season 3. There's some pricing details that just got released. You want to talk about it very, very quick? We're about to finish over here.
Yeah, sure. So we've talked about Season 3. Obviously, we went to the Spring Showcase. Me and Paris got to see it early. Got some information on it for you guys. So Season 3 is coming, but you have 3 options. Basically, if you just want the 8 new fighters, Rash from Battletoads, Arbiter from Halo, some of the returning guys like Kimbo and Tusk, it's going to be $20 on Xbox One and Windows 10 if you just want the new Season 3 people. If you want like the Ultra Edition, which is going to be like an XP boost, costumes, colors, the characters as well, that's $40 on Xbox One and Windows 10 as well. And that, of course, also comes if you want to get the Supreme Edition, which is $60 on Xbox One, $50 on Windows 10. That'll give you Seasons 1, 2, and 3 altogether. That's a total of 25 fighters. So that'll give you the costumes, the fighters, the skins, some extra gold to spend in the store, double XP boosters, bonus colors. You know this stuff. It's basically pre-order bonuses rewarding you for picking up the stuff early. So basically, if you haven't played Killer Instinct before, you're going to want to go for this $60 or $50 option, depending on if you have an Xbox One or Windows 10. That's the best bang for your buck as well. That said, if you played Killer Instinct in the past, you kind of moved away from it, maybe you're just kind of excited for the new people, then it's only $20 at that point just to get the 8 new characters as well. So this is a good system. I think this works well. I'm actually kind of excited now, as I've said on the other show, for Killer Instinct to come to PC, because now I can actually seriously play it with my arcade sticks and that I can use on PC. So I've kind of been sitting on the sidelines of Killer Instinct for a while, so I think Season 3 is going to be the best jumping in point because the new characters look exciting. I mean, I've tried them myself firsthand, so I know they are good. And this is going to be big. I think, we've been needing some fighting games. Obviously, PlayStation 4 has had all the shine with Street Fighter 5 recently. Now it's Xbox One to come back and give that 1-2 punch. Be like, hey, look, we got fighting games too. Yeah. So I'm excited. Season 3 is going to be a lot of fun. And again, the Xbox One, Windows 10, both versions equally supported, both coming out the same day as well. And again, you have 3 options, $20, $40, or $50 or $60, depending on console or PC. So check it out. I think it's worth your time. I'm definitely playing it on Steam. So I'll see you guys online if you guys want to play
Steam,
it.
Windows, you mean?
Sorry,
Windows
God.
10.
So it's whatever.
Windows
so
10
it'll be
PC.
on Windows 10. I'll be playing it on Windows 10 if you guys want to play with me. I'll definitely shoot me a message on Twitter at Paulson J, and we'll link up and play some games. But yeah, Killer Instinct Season 3 coming March 29th, almost here.
All right. P, I know there was something else you wanted to talk about very quick.
There's been some rumor, and again, this is still rumor, but it's something that was talked about and was discussed, brought up by Digital Foundry. So there's rumor that there's an alleged PlayStation 4.5, or if you're from the Apple family, it's the S version or the Slim. Talks about a new PlayStation 4 with more horsepower to provide native 4K gaming. So again, this
is called PlayStation 4K?
No, it's a rumor still, so the naming convention is still unknown. It's not a bad idea if you think about it. I think I may have brought this up in previous shows, and I know I talked about it internally with you guys, but I think in it, if anything, it behooves Microsoft more than anything. Mm-hmm. And I hate to bring Microsoft into the PlayStation conversation.
You guys always do,
I know.
But continue.
Well, I'm making you happy. But they need to take advantage of 4K. I mean, Sony is, they're pushing 4K TVs. 4K, everybody's got a 4K TV, or everybody's selling 4K TVs these days. I don't want to say that everybody's got a 4K.
I don't have 4K. Do you have 4K, P?
I've got a 4K TV. I know Paris has one.
Poss and you?
No,
do you?
No, just me.
So
I'm waiting like you
2 and 2.
Danny.
So 2 and 2.
2 and 2.
Okay.
But I think because of the new onset of VR, you've got Oculus and Vive on the PC side that are more than capable of handling 4K if your GPU can handle it. And then you've got console devices like the PlayStation, the Xbox One, who are stuck at the 1080p level and they can't go beyond that. And now with the onset of VR as a possibility, this would help PlayStation bridge the gap between console and PC. Now, PlayStation VR is still significantly lesser tech than an Oculus. but it helps bridge that gap to them. I know you and I were talking about, is it really necessary? In the last show, is graphics or resolution really all that important? In this respect, it is, because it gives you that opportunity to see more, to do more. And if you think about it, if you could have PlayStation VR doing a native 120 hertz with backwards compat, again, that totally, we know backwards compatibility is sketchy with Sony, especially if, with them charging, especially if you've already got the title, you still have to pay to play it.
Can I say something very quick about that?
Hold on.
But, okay,
so
go. Can I have
by allowing the 4K or having a console that can handle 4K, especially something like PlayStation that has the video back catalog for TV shows and movies, because of Sony Pictures, imagine now having a PS4 that can do the 4K for games, VR, as well as 4K playback for movies.
Okay. You're done?
You're going to interrupt anyway, so go ahead.
No. Are you done? Because I want to say something real quick, because I had a conversation with Paris about this. The price is the thing that I'm worried, because here's the thing. Sony, so far this generation, they've been known as the cheaper price when it comes to the console when they first launched against Xbox One. Then the VR against Oculus and Valve's VR, it was the cheapest version, right? How much do you think they're going to have for this quote-unquote 4K, if it's real, 4K console?
If it's real, I don't know, maybe put out like a $900 or maybe even $1,000 bundle for VR with 4K. Again, this is speculation, and this is niche market. This is niche market speculation. Also, think about it. We're talking bleeding edge, somewhat, from a console perspective. Yes, have to be. This is considered bleeding edge. This is for those early adopters who have disposable income that can, that already have a 4K TV. And may not want to, do PC. Again, this is all speculation. This is all niche design. Like, do I want it? Do I have an extra $500, $700, $800 to burn because I don't have kids, or something like that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, but do you guys seriously see existing PS4 owners picking this up?
Hardcore will do it. Hardcore.
I mean, yeah,
maybe the hardcore.
There'll always be outliers, but I'm talking about the majority of the core gamers.
No,
well, you've already got millions of people who already have a PlayStation 4. Most of those likely don't care about 1080p versus 4K. Now, with all of those considerations, I mean, from a technological standpoint, you've got to be concerned about input lag from the PS4 to the to your TV. Is the hard drive going to be sufficient? Are you going to have to get an SSD instead of just a regular spinning disk type hard drive?
It's a very small market, man. Not that many people have 4K TVs, man.
Mm-hmm.
You got to understand that. Like, it's maybe years from now, maybe. Here's the thing. They hyped it up with this whole thing about 3D. Remember the 3D TVs? It was a failure. I'm happy with my PlayStation 4. To me, this is not for me. It's not for me at all. But it will be for Pete and for Paris, maybe. But for me or Patrick, I think we're fine with what we have.
This
right?
isn't the first time, though. Like, every single iteration of PlayStation has had a minimum of a single hardware refresh midway through its sales pitch.
But it's never changed the GPU or the processor, though. That's the key difference. It's not changing the internal of the system. I don't think it's a good idea. I think it's a confusing message for consumers. I think it would probably piss off a lot of people. Like, maybe they just bought a PS4 and then something like this is announced at E3. I would not do this if I was Sony. Certainly, you can make a slimmer one. You can do that all day. People love that kind of stuff. But as far as like reworking the insides of it, I say leave that for PS5, honestly. I mean, if you want to make the PS5 with an SSD drive and like 16 gigs of RAM, and you want to make sure it can run 4K, like, yeah, that sounds great, like 5 years from now, when you can make that technology more affordable, and hopefully more people have 4K TVs 5 years from now. But for right now, I don't see it. I just don't know. I mean, again, Listeners can email us at fanmailgamertagradio.com with their input if they disagree with me on this. But I feel like if you already own a PS4, you're fine with it. You're looking forward to the games that are coming for it. You don't really feel the urge to go spend more money on a newer hardware. And because, again, then you're relying on the developers to make sure their games are 4K ready when not that many people are going to be using that aspect of the system, even if they have that new fancier system. So I don't know. That's just too many question marks in the air for me. I don't think that'd be a smart move financially, marketing-wise for Sony at all. I think they need to focus on Morpheus, make sure they get that out this year as a success, and then maybe think long-term about 4K. But right now, I mean, clearly they've thrown their hat into the VR ring. They need to make sure that comes out of the gate flawlessly and has some great titles supporting it. Because I think VR's first, then 4K. Because again, everyone needs to drop that money on the 4K TV or monitor first. I just think not enough people have done that yet to justify a complete revision of the console hardware cycle. I don't think we're there yet.
Make a slim version with no disc, just strictly hard drive, and you download digital games and have it for super cheap.
That's what Xbox
One
needs.
Successful.
Xbox One is way too big of a console. I hate unplugging and carrying it around. It needs a slimmer model. PS4 is fine size-wise, so they make a smaller one, awesome. Because if you haven't bought a PS4 or Xbox One yet, you should be rewarded for waiting for your patience. You pay less money, smaller, it comes with games bundled in. I mean, that's the reward you get if you're a patient gamer in this generation. But for me, just give me more games to play. Give me my Uncharted 4. You know, I don't need it to be 4K. I just want to enjoy my 1080p Uncharted 4. I mean, that's fine. That's why I have the console. I have the PC for that higher-end stuff. But, you know, again, we'll see. We'll see what Sony says at E3 if they actually want to make any hardware announcements.
I will say Microsoft probably should already be considering a hardware refresh.
I agree. I 100% agree.
Just as a result, even if this just happens to be just pure BS and rumor mill stuff, Microsoft should take this into consideration because they're being left behind.
Yes,
from a graphical hardware standpoint.
For those that are into that kind of stuff.
No, they really are. I mean, and actually both of them are if you really think about it, I mean, maybe Wipeout HD was the only thing on PlayStation last year that came out in pure 1080p native. I don't know. I think this is a good opportunity for them to explore that new higher res space. But, you know, who am I? I'm just a nobody on a dead end podcast.
I read a lot of tweets, and there was one tweet that caught my attention. This is from Kevin. He wrote, so according to Danny's reasoning, we would still be playing and enjoying PlayStation 1 and original Xbox games then. He talking about the last episode about the whole resolution and I don't care about graphics and all that stuff. Let me tell you, man, I still play my Super Nintendo games. Classic. There's a lot of classic games. So, yeah, there's probably some PlayStation 1 games that are Final Fantasy VII, Patrick. Classic.
Dave Mirra BMX. Rest in peace, Dave.
I think you mean Final Fantasy 9, Danny, but that's just your opinion.
No, that 9 is good. Don't get me wrong. 9 is really good.
Much better than 7.
Yeah, but see, that stuff doesn't care, man. I don't care about that.
Yes, your point is right, Danny. There are a lot of PS1 games that stand the test of time.
Yeah,
no doubt.
And there's some, better than the games from now, which is crazy. So, anyways, I don't know. We'll talk about that next time. Well, what's up, Pete?
I didn't say anything. I said Dave Mirra BMX. Rest in peace, Dave Mirra.
Now that needs an HD remix. Someone bring that back. I want to do some backflips on bicycles again.
Thank you. Double tail whips.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we're going to wrap it up here at GamerTagRadio.com. Go over there and visit and share with your friends. You can find us on Stitcher, Spotify, TuneIn Radio, and also iTunes. Subscribe and post a review. Give us a call, 786-273-7GTR. That's 786-273-7GTR. Email us, fanmail at GamerTagRadio.com. And I'm super excited, man. Super, super excited. Because we have big plans for the future of GTR. E3 is going to be big. Can't wait. Anything else, Pete, Patrick?
PlayStation 4-3 coming your way.
4-3. And you, Patrick?
I can't top that. No, I'm going to Pete said.
Okay. All right. So we out. Peace.
You're listening to Gamer Tag Radio. Be sure to like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. Thanks for listening. Tune in next week.
Bye.